use the lumbars from the cervicals to then the thoracics.
You can tell the size and also the shapes.
Size is never a great thing to go by because what if you are bones and all you have is a disarticulated skeleton and you're supposed to figure out how this person died
Their shapes are different.
and all you have is this one vertebra with a knife mark in it. You want to know, well, is this a lumbar vertebra so the knife mark would not have been a fatal blow, or is it a thoracic vertebra so the knife mark would have been fatal?
These ones are going. These ones are.
The shapes are different.
The shapes, yeah. So what about the shapes?
These ones have
These are
like.
going down like
These
little arrows. These
go
are
up
sticking
more,
out.
and these come like out.
And yeah.
Okay, here are the tricks. Okay. The cervical vertebra, the aorta, and that's what this red tube is supposed to be, actually runs through these up to the brain. Or not the aorta, the jugular is the vein. Carotid.
Carotid, yeah.
The carotids are the arteries. The aorta is the big chunky thing that's down in here. The cervical vertebrae actually have little holes in these wings to let that pass through. Oh yeah. If you look at the diagram, you'll see those wings with holes in them for that carotid to run through. Thoracics start with that first rib. So this is cervical, 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 cervical. And there's always 7 in a mammal. Always 7, except in manatees and sloths.
Always 7 cervicals.
Always 7. If you've got a giraffe, it doesn't have more vertebrae in its neck. They're just longer. Still 7. If you have a bird, like a pelican with a big long neck, it has more.
Pelican, that's Shannon.
They have 20 or 30. Geese have 20 or 30.
They have more or less.
So if I remember correctly, manatees, I think, have 6. Sloths are tricky.
Sneaky sloths.
Well, actually, they're highly variable.
Oh.
On average, if I remember right, the 3-toed sloths have 8, and the 2-toed sloths have 6.
So these are cervical,
So
these
it's
are
really weird.
Thoracic.
thoracic, and these are
And the research to actually do that
lumbar.
was like just 2 years ago.
Lumbar,
someone did the 2-toed
thoracic.
sloths. So I always said it was 8,
Okay.
and it turned out 2-toed sloths was 6. Or it may be the other way around, but I think that's right. Why they can get away with not 7, we don't know. But everything else is 7. With that hole for their products.
What is Valerie doing?
Thoracics all have ribs coming off of them. And so
Thoracics
if
all
you've got the vertebra without the rib, there's actually this wing here has a flat spot for the rib to attach.
So this is where they start.
Yeah, well, this one,
This one.
because this is a rib.
Largest penis.
And this flat spot on, and you can see it better on the front.
Actually, my
But
grandfather.
there's a flat
I
spot
was-
for
I was
each
looking at
rib to
my grandma's
attach.
cane one time. I was like, look at this one. He's like, oh, that's a large penis.
6.
Yeah.
Correct.
They have a bone. And that's, it's like.
And then these are all lumbar.
Lumbar.
And these have big wide wings,
Yeah.
but there's no place for the ribs to attach. There's no flat
Yeah.
indentation. And there's no hole there for any veins to go
Yeah, she
through.
gets interested. Once it's phallic.
So if there's no hole and there's no flat indentation for the ribs, then it must be lumbar. And then these are all fused in us. So these are actually separate vertebrae, but they're fused into one thing. This is our sacrum. And that gets its name because it's sacred.
Sacred sacrum.
I don't remember the exact story, so I'll have to look that one up. And then the coccyx is the tailbone. And those are also usually fused, but not always. So like those things, they weren't fused. And it varies from person to person how tightly fused those are.
If it's